Without any objection, the motion is carried.
Next in our agenda is the reading and approval of the previous minutes of the meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes. I move for the approval.
Dispense with the reading of the minutes and the approval state duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, motion is carried. This juncture, we'd like to recognize the following members of both the Committee on Revision of Laws and the Committee on National Defense and Security. Congressman Gerald Galang, Congresswoman Isabel Zamora, our co-chair, Representative Nathaniel Aducado, Representative Steve Solon, Representative Richard Gomez, Representative Gil Acosta, Representative Leo Rodriguez, Representative Arnan Panaligan, Representative Alexander Pimentel, and Representative Joboy Aquino.
Acknowledge the following members of the Committee on National Defense and Security: Vice Chairperson and Deputy Majority Leader, Representative Arnan Panaligan; Vice Chairperson Joboy Aquino; Vice Chairperson Richard Gomez; Vice Chairperson Steve Chongban Solon; Representative Leo Rodriguez; Deputy Majority Leader Gil Acosta; Representative Salvador Plato; and Representative Binky Tupas. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you, Co-Chair Aducado. To everyone, again, thank you for attending this joint committee. Good afternoon. We convene today for the purpose of considering and approving the proposed new Espionage Act of the Philippines, a measure that responds decisively to the evolving and increasingly complex threats to our national security. At the outset, the Chair wishes to place on record the committee's deep appreciation and commendation for the very exceptional work undertaken by the Subcommittee on Penal Laws, ably chaired by Representative Isabel Maria Zamora. Representative Zamora, please rise and be acknowledged. Can we give Representative Zamora a round of applause? Under her leadership, the subcommittee conducted exhaustive hearings, engaged relevant stakeholders, carefully examined comparative laws, and ensured that the proposed measure is firmly anchored on constitutional principles, due process, and the rule of law. The Chair likewise extends sincere recognition to the contingent of the Committee on National Defense and Security, ably headed by Representative Nathaniel Aducado. Sir, please stand up and be recognized. Whose invaluable inputs, technical expertise, and steadfast commitment to safeguarding national sovereignty significantly strengthened the final form of this proposed legislation. Their collaboration ensured that the measure is responsive to the real and present security concerns while remaining measured, precise, and rights respecting. As the chair of the committee, I knew that the subcommittee substitute bill on the new Espionage Act before us today is the product of rigorous deliberation, intercommittee cooperation, and a shared resolve to modernize our legal framework in light of the contemporary threats such as cyber espionage, interference, and the unauthorized disclosure of sensitive national security information. It reflects our collective effort to protect the state, its institutions, its people, without undermining the democratic freedoms we are sworn to uphold. With the diligent work of the subcommittee and the Committee on National Defense and Security, now before this body, we proceed today with the confidence that the proposed measure has been thoroughly vetted, responsively crafted, and carefully balanced. Let our deliberations this afternoon, be guided by the same spirit of cooperation, prudence, and patriotism that brought this measure to this stage. With that, we are ready to receive the report of the Subcommittee on Penal Laws. Thank you very much. And again, thank you for attending this meeting.
Thank you, Chair. Before I proceed with the opening remarks on the part of the Committee on National Defense and Security, I'd like to acknowledge the Vice Chairperson, Lionel Siniza, and the father of my very smart friend, Representative Solomon Chonggalao. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone, distinguished colleagues and guests. Before we proceed to the consideration of and the approval of the substitute bill on espionage, allow me, as co-chair of this joint committee, to place on record my sincere appreciation to the members of the joint subcommittee and their respective staff who devoted their time, expertise, and careful study to this proposed legislation. The substitute bill before us is the product of a rigorous deliberation, comparative research, and constructive engagement among stakeholders. Sinasalamin ng panukalang ito, ang panukalang batas na ito, ang ating nagkakaisang tugon sa hamong palakasin ang kakayahan ng ating bansa na protektahan ang ating seguridad habang nananatiling totoo sa ating saligang batas at mga demokratikong prinsipyo. I particularly thank the authors of the original measures for their cooperation and openness in harmonizing their proposals, and the joint subcommittee for patiently refining the provisions to ensure clarity, balance, and enforceability, but most importantly, to the patience of Representative Zamora in finishing the substitute bill. This joint committee's work demonstrates that when we legislate with diligence and unity of purpose, we can produce laws that are both firm against threats and fair to our people. The Philippines, with this substitute bill, is entering a new phase, not just of national security, but also of unity. And we hope the Filipino people will benefit greatly from this. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Co-Chair Oducado. We now proceed with the report of the Subcommittee on Penal Laws relating to the substitute bill crafted on the new Espionage Act. May I recognize the Honorable Vice Chair Isabel Maria Zamora.
Thank you, Chair Tanwatco. Thank you, Chair Oducado. And good afternoon to all. I would like to present to this body the substitute bill that was approved in the Subcommittee on Penal Laws. We conducted 2 subcommittee meetings attended by the Department of Justice, Department of National Defense, Armed Forces of the Philippines, National Security Council, National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, UP Law Center, National Bureau of Investigation, Philippine National Police, and Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. There are 10 bills relating to espionage filed before this committee. We are modernizing and strengthening the country's legal framework to address the evolving threats to national security, sovereignty, and democratic institutions, while upholding constitutional rights and fundamental liberties. Here are the salient features of the substitute bill. 1. Expanded scope of espionage. The substitute bill broadens the definition of espionage to cover acts committed in times of war or peace, and the act of unauthorized dealing with classified matters through physical, electronic, cyber, or other means, when such acts injure the Philippines or benefit foreign or domestic entities. 2. Protection of classified information and critical infrastructure. The substitute bill provides comprehensive protection to classified matters, national defense assets, national security facilities, and critical infrastructure, including telecommunications, energy, transportation, banking, data systems, and cyberspace. 3. Recognition of cyber and technological threats. The measure explicitly criminalizes cyber espionage, digital surveillance, electronic interception, mapping, and technological monitoring of prohibited places and defense assets. 4. Territorial application. The bill applies to offenses committed outside Philippine territory, including crimes by Filipinos abroad, acts against Philippine officials and interests, offenses committed on Philippine vessels or aircraft, and acts by foreign nationals against the Philippine government, subject to international law. 5. Deterrent penalties. Espionage and conspiracy are punishable by life imprisonment without parole or good conduct time allowance, and fines ranging from 10 million pesos to 20 million pesos, reflecting the gravity of crimes against national security. 6. Criminalization of related acts. The bill penalizes conspiracy, proposal to commit espionage, destruction or obstruction of national defense efforts, disloyal acts or statements by government personnel, unlawful possession of surveillance or mapping equipment, as well as aiding, abetting, harboring, or concealing offenders. 7. Accountability across sectors. Government officials face absolute, perpetual disqualification from public office. Military personnel are tried by court martial. Corporate officers of juridical entities are personally held liable. And foreign offenders are subject to deportation and permanent exclusion after serving sentence. 8. Designation of prohibited places. The President or the Secretary of National Defense may designate prohibited places, while national defense premises and security facilities are deemed prohibited by law. 9. Safeguards in investigation and prosecution. All investigations and prosecutions are subject to strict classification and custody rules, with access limited to authorized personnel on a need-to-know basis. 10. Judicial oversight and financial controls. Court-authorized surveillance and interception are allowed under stringent standards. Espionage is declared an unlawful activity under the Anti-Money Laundering Act, empowering the AMLAC to investigate, freeze, and forfeit assets linked to espionage and interference. 11. Coherent implementation. The Act harmonizes with existing penal and cybercrime laws and mandates the issuance of implementing rules and regulations within 120 days to ensure effective enforcement. We respectfully submit the same, Mr. Chair, for the consideration of the body. Thank you very much.
With that being said, we'd like to recognize the presence of Representative Marlo Bangcoro.
Part of the Committee on National Defense and Security, we'd like to acknowledge Representative Laarni Roque, Vice Chairperson Ismael Toto Mangudadato.
Thank you, Vice Chair Zamora, for the explanation and the report regarding the subcommittee on penal laws. Regarding the report of Representative Zamora and the which basically capsulizes the new espionage law, is there a motion relating to the subcommittee report as relayed by Congresswoman Zamora?
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the draft substitute bill on the espionage law reported by the Subcommittee on Penal Laws and the Committee on National Defense and Security.
On motion by Congressman Galang and duly seconded to approve the subcommittee report on the new Espionage Act subject to the manifested amendments. Any amendments? Congressman Gomez.
Chair, considering this bill is very patriotic and wonderful for all of us, would it be possible to include all members present if they wish to be co-authors of this patriotic bill?
Second, Mr. Chair.
So moved. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Gomez. On the first motion by Congressman Galang,
Sir Chair?
Yes, Congressman Mangodato.
Yes, the motion of Congressman Gomez, provided, however, all the members present.
Thank you, Congressman Mangodato. Before we proceed, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of Representative Dibo Tuan. So we have two motions on deck. One is the motion of Congressman Galang to approve the subcommittee report on the new Espionage Act, which was duly seconded by almost all members present today. Any objections? Hearing none, said motion of Congressman Galang is carried. The Secretariat is hereby directed to prepare the corresponding committee report and substitute bill in accordance with the no amendments subject to style. The Secretariat is likewise hereby directed to file the necessary committee report. On the motion of Congressman Gomez that all members present today also similarly moved by Congressman Mangodato, seconded by almost all the members present. Any objections to said motion? Hearing none, motion of Congressman Gomez is hereby approved.
To acknowledge the presence of Vice Chairperson Jesus Romualdo. The part on the Committee on National Defense and Security. Do I hear a motion for the approval of the subcommittee report and its substitute? We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion duly seconded. Without any objection, the motion is carried. The Secretariat is directed to prepare on the part of the Committee of Defense the said subcommittee report and the substitute.
Mula sa Committee ng Revision of Laws, nagpapasalamat po ang aming committee na nakapagdalo po kayo ngayong umaga, hapon, at napakahalaga na yung subcommittee report na naisagawa ng ating subcommittee at saka ng Committee ng National Defense and Security ay nakapagbuo tayo ng isang panukalang batas para sa bagong espionage law. Kaya maraming salamat sa pagdalo ninyo at makakasal man po kayo on the part of the Committee on Revision of Laws. We will see this to fruition with, of course, the help and support of the Committee on National Defense and Security. So thank you again for your attendance.
On the part of the Committee on National Defense and Security, maraming salamat po. The attendance of today's session only goes to show that sobrang laki ng suporta, especially for this landmark piece of legislation na 19 kopong-kopong pa nag-start. But more importantly, it will equip our nation as well as our authorities to be well prepared for the upcoming threats that we will face in the near future. So maraming salamat po. Mr. Chair?
Thank you, Co-Chair Odocado. Please relay our appreciation and gratitude to Chairman Malapitan.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Vice Chair Zamora.
I move to adjourn the joint meeting of the committees.
Upon
Second, Mr.
motion of the favorite motion of everybody, duly seconded by almost everybody. Any objections? Hearing none, motion to adjourn.